Sorry about that. Hello everyone, this is Joe Lewis, also known as Prowler93 here. Well, not Prowler93, but Gangster Games, my bad. I don't know why I keep saying that line, but oh well.
Here's a word of advice. Before you start streaming or recording, make sure you have your name correct. Or quite frankly, make your name a little more simple so it rolls off the tongue easier.
But besides that, I really wanted to basically just open up my mind a little bit.
Which is surprisingly a very healthy thing to do. Emptying your mind and releasing all that baggage inside your head is quite frankly a good way to make yourself less stressed.
Not showing hate at all. But there is way too much controversy on see here this on my old friend see here MikuCoolMix. Sorry to say, but there's a lot of controversy on her.
Well, the first thing you do is you say that there's no hate or anything like that towards comics, but yet you bring up this controversy anyway. And besides, you say you've seen way too much controversy about comics. Where's your evidence? I haven't seen a single thing of evidence, not even a link in the description like other videos you've seen of controversy to this. And believe it or not, I actually typed in MikuCoolMix's name into chat several times on YouTube to see how she's doing, believe it or not, and check on how she is from a viewer's point of view. And 9 times out of 10, I don't see anything else apart from MikuCoolMix's channel. So if there's so many videos about controversy, you mean they should show up in the search bar, right?
1. I have found this out from her multiple times. Well, 1, she doesn't like her models being copied, and yet she has all of her friends copying her models all the time. That's kind of controversial to me. If you're not going to have one person do it, why have a bunch of people do it?
It appears you quite frankly don't understand the whole situation now, do you? What comics actually hate is quite frankly people taking her main model, aka the very soul and mascot of her channel. She doesn't want anyone to copy that, including a recoloring or simply retexturing of that model. She doesn't mind people making new models of her character in different outfits, like many people have done, and if you don't know, there's over 200 of the fuckers. And surprisingly, many of them, and quite a few of them, have not seen the light of day yet. Many of them have simply been either just simply a trial, didn't work out, never were used, or sometimes only used once for one video and never seen again. Look, there are many things about her basic comics that quite frankly allow her to do her models. However, a lot of her models had to either remade up from nothing or certain other things, or quite frankly she's given permission for one of her main models to basically be edited. That is all. If you do it behind her back and quite frankly, just betray her trust after she's given you her model, then she hates it, and that's why she goes after people who do that, because it's breaking her trust. The big word here is trust. She only gives out her main model to people she trusts and cares about. That's a big difference. That's why, quite frankly, you'll probably never see her main model up for public download, but maybe a few of her other secondary models, maybe.
Then also, let's see here, she doesn't want her model sexualized, and yet you have her friends sexualizing her model all the time.
Again, this one goes down to trust. Quite frankly, she doesn't want her model sexualized with certain characters or certain people. If all of you don't know, COOLMix herself is actually a lesbian. And that's it. She literally does not want her main character shipped with any males whatsoever. Even footers. Literally nothing to do with the male body or sexual organs. That is completely out of the picture. And also as well, COOLMix has certain rules and limits of where her character can be quite frankly, shipped with or shipped with who. That's why she has so many other models. So if you quite frankly do want to fucking ship comics or something, choose something from a wide variety of different models that have already been made by other people, or quite frankly made by herself that she's actually approved of, or quite frankly allowed to have, different relationships. That is basically the reason why she gets pissy, because every time people ask about this, they instantly go behind her back anyway, after she said, sorry, but no, not this model.
Then also, let's see here, she talks about, that she is a, part of the LGBT, and yet basically, there have been times when her model is shipped with a guy. Like, seriously, they've shipped her model with a guy a few times.
Alright, say again. MikuCoolMix is lesbian. She has always been lesbian. And quite frankly, again, a lot of these times when she's been shipped with other characters that happen to be male, have usually been done without permission. And quite frankly, other times, it's simply just for a video, aka they're just dancing around, not really flirting, they're simply just dancing. That's it. There has not really been any time that quite frankly she actually approves of her character being shipped with any male, because she says no to that, because she is a full-blown lesbian and will not have her character become, or basically bi, because quite frankly, she's lesbian and her character is a mirror of her. So in other words, that's why she only gives her model out because she trusts. So people who basically ship her character with another male character, usually quite frankly, are more or less, I don't want to sound really cruel, but kind of stabbing her in the back, basically. That's why she gets pissy about it.
Then you also hate to say it, here's the one thing that I'm freaking peeved about.
It must be serious then if you're pissed about it.
She hates me for a video that some guy basically made that was because they called me a pedo. They kept on calling me a pedophile and all this sort of stuff, and, and talking about my past.
Your past. Believe it or not, that's not the main reason why she hates you. The reason that she can't stand you anymore is because, quite frankly, you've betrayed her trust so many times in the past that she, honest to God, wants you to be cut out of her life for good, aka she wants nothing to do with you whatsoever. And yet, you still bring up shit to try and get yourself, noticed by her. Like this video you're doing now, bringing up controversy about COPPA, even though she basically doesn't want anything to do with you.
Sorry to say, but she's, right now, if you look at basically her videos and her friends, they're sexualizing a 13-year-old superhero.
Sexualizing a 13 superhero. Well, all COPPA does is simply does MMD for her entire career. So, what superhero you're talking about?
Cartoon superhero.
Ah, there it is. A cartoon superhero. I thought you were talking about a real fucking person here, but no. We're talking about something that doesn't even exist in real life. Christ, call the police. A virtual, non-fiction character is being sexualized. Oh, the humanity.
Sexualizing it. More than you think. No offense, Miku.
No offense, but where's all your evidence? To try and prove your points? But surprisingly, you haven't even so much even brought a single thing yet. And quite frankly, I think after this little clip here, I'm probably going to show basically all the videos I can probably think of that basically look the most sexualized version I possibly can, and quite frankly, ask the audience of what they think. Because I'm pretty sure the average subscriber and the average person on YouTube can tell between, reality and fiction, and between a real person and a virtual character. You know what I mean?
Who you're calling a pedophile when basically you're acting like one right now by basically having your friends sexualize a model for you that basically you don't know that basically it's underage.
Right. Here's a little thing though. Again, you show no evidence. All we see so far is simply you staring at your VTuber's face. That's all we're staring at right now. There's no evidence. You're not showing anything right now. And again, she's a virtual character. And here's the thing. She's still wearing the exact same bloody outfit that you see her in the bloody show. She's just doing motions. That's it. She's not wearing a bloody string bloody bikini and basically bending over the bloody camera. Yeah, that's over-sexualizing something. And heck, if you go on bloody Google right now and type in Rakus Ladybug right now, I'm pretty sure if you go on Google Images, you'll probably find fucking Rule 34 instantly.
Come on. Even you got called out on it twice already.
Again, where's the evidence?
You got called out on it twice for that reason. Not trying to hate, but the one thing is that you're way too controversial.
You're not here to hate, but yet you still do this video to quite frankly bring out more shit and more drama. Yeah, it seems like you really do want the hate on CoolMix right now.
Come on. You're way too controversial. It makes no sense at all. Your model, you state no to to people, but then when you basically try to pretend that people are your friends, which they're not, half your friends are your subscribers and they just want be noticed, which you're acting more toxic than anything else, to be honest. Like, seriously, I tried to basically make you a model and act like your actual real friend. And next thing you know, now you won't actually accept me in your life because basically you think I'm because you believe a video that makes no sense at all. You can even tell that the guy got his information wrong because, I hate to say it, I'm none of those things that he mentioned in that video.
There's a lot to unpack on this one, I must admit. First things first, you continue on the controversy stuff, bad, and now you went after her friends, aka like me and everyone else, and quite frankly a list of people right here as well. But here's the thing though, we're all subscribed to each other's channels. We're not just subscribed only to CoolMix's channel. CoolMix is subbed to us as well, and we are subbed to each other as well, believe it or not. It's not simply we're all subbed to CoolMix just for clout, believe it or not. We actually hang out outside of YouTube. We hang out online. We have our own Discord group. We actually hang out and talk to each other and be ourselves. We chill and relax. We play video games together. We play Minecraft, No Man's Skies, bloody Halo, Gary's Mod, Sniper Elite 4, VR Chat. We play all those games together. And we're friends with other people outside that group as well. We're not just simply a bunch of MMD YouTubers that simply, sub to each other for clout. Believe it or not, no. We actually, quite frankly, enjoy each other's company and actually have fun on the outside of the world. And again, the reason why she quite frankly cut you out of her life is quite frankly not only because all the times you basically went against what she's asked you not to fucking do, like trying to ship her character with a male model, which I believe was one of your things that she said when she got into an argument about you about. There was also another one where, quite frankly, also the video itself, believe it or not, you need to show evidence to quite frankly prove yourself innocent. If you've been accused of something, prove them wrong. That's simple. And yes, that video was kind of like the last fucking straw about COPPA sort of thing.
And also, I hate to say it, like I stated, you're sexualizing a 13-year-old girl.
I hate to say it, but please show evidence.
And yet you hate me because of a video that basically some Yugituber, yes, a Yugituber. And if you guys don't know what Yugitubing is basically is where YouTubers are basically talking about a children's card game. Yes, I'm gonna put that out there. It's a children's card game, and yet people want to act like it's a freaking, competitive sport. Sorry to say, it's an e-sport, not an actual sport. You don't see here, was it ESPN sponsoring it? Come on. If it was sponsored by ESPN, then yeah. But it's not sponsored by ESPN.
What does this even have to do about controversy anyway? A children's card game? Huh? A Yugituber? What the hell is this even? What the hell is even? Where is this anyway? I need to do some research after recording or something to figure out what it is. I'll post a bloody picture or description here after I've learned what the hell this thing even is. Hey, back to the video.
Come on. So please, get your information straight, MikuCoolMix.
Please, show some information, please.
I'm sorry to say. Now, besides that, let's get on with another subject. Like I said, Yugitubing. We're going to get on that subject right now.
At least I learned something today about Yugitubing? Whatever the hell this is, hope it's better be interesting at least.
It's a children's card game, people, not an EA sport. I mean, not an a sport. And it's not even sponsored by EA Sports either. So yeah, it's not even an e-sport, technically. Come on. It's a children's card game that basically makes you ask your mom multiple times to basically get cards for. So yeah. It's ridiculous as hell.
Okay, so it's a children's card game, which you've said several times, and quite frankly, the only card game that comes to my mind that basically is believe it or not, is just, I would say, is for kids, quote unquote, is Pokemon cards. And quite frankly, even I know for a full fact, a person who doesn't collect Pokemon cards know that basically, yes, it may be cards for kids, but believe it or not, there actually is quite frankly a big fandom behind these things. And surprisingly enough, it can drive people insane to spend a absolute living fortune on just cards, some more valuable than others. So yes, there are people out there who basically spend a lot of money and go ballistic on these things, but that's their hobby. Who cares? It's their hobby. Alright, so I'm guessing from what I now know of, it's basically a Yugitubing is literally either a form of card opening channel that basically compares cards or quite frankly sells expensive cards that are usually the highest bidder for collectors, or quite frankly goes into detail of each card most likely, or basically does few games with these cards, I'm guessing. But either way, I'll probably learn a lot more later after we're done recording.
Alright, since I cleared the room about those two subjects, we're going to talk about another subject. I'm going to go back to the MMD community part. Why the hell am I not getting anything done with my freaking OSCR videos? Like, seriously, I asked for credit. I mean, not credit, but basically OSCR feedback. Nobody gives me feedback. People, let's see here. I'm not trying to please everyone, but I would at least like to have some actual, respect.
Alright, back to the MMD community, I see, and believe it or not, right now you're talking about basically model making, I believe. And quite frankly, you're asking for feedback on your models, believe it or not. If that's what you're asking for, then that's basically what MMD is generally for. Especially not on YouTube and anywhere at least. That's more basically something you basically add to MMD forums, and quite frankly ask other model makers and model creators. Not something you put on YouTube, quite frankly, because YouTube people who look on YouTube enjoy here to watch your model basically perform motions, or that you use from other people who create these motions, or quite frankly, you know, from actual motions that you've created. So, you asking for feedback on that is on YouTube? Not the wisest decision to do. And also as well, respect is earned. You have to earn respect by quite frankly giving respect.
By basically at least you commenting on my videos and actually let me know how you feel about them, or basically how I made my models, because they say I make models. I'm not like you guys who basically, and I'm not trying to diss anyone on this, but I'm not like you guys who basically just say screw it and put together parts of a model and then say, oh, I actually made this model. No, you didn't. You basically made the model, but you didn't make the parts. It's like for Dr. Frankenstein, basically making Frankenstein and basically, the monster, I meant to say not Frankenstein, but made the monster, and didn't even credit where he got the parts from. That's the one thing. Has he ever credited the person who basically gave the parts that he got the parts from? You don't hear him stating, oh, this arm is from such and such graveyard and all that. Come on. Give more full credit to the people who basically made the model. Like, seriously. Stop freaking being lazy and just stating that you made the model. No, you didn't. You basically put together the model and you assembled it.
Right. Now back onto this new part of simply you making models and you want people to comment in your videos quite frankly give you feedback. Again, wrong place to ask for feedback. You need to ask forums about that, and quite frankly, you need to go there for the information. Now onto the part of simply saying we make models hashed in basically big air quotes right here. Yes, I know I didn't make I basically knew for a full-on fact I didn't make diddly shit on my model. They are just parts from other models and a TDA base. Yes, I know that. The texture is also made by someone else, and so on and so forth. But here's a big-ass question. What would happen is simply if I basically writ down every single person of every single company, every single individual, underneath every model I make for a video. And let's for example, if I did a video that had, I don't know, at least 20 models, all made by different people. And of course, all had the different parts from different people as well. Jesus Christ. Literally, the entire comment section would just be full of just names of people who have had their parts, sort of thing. So in other words, I always quote mine as by, BY, by so-and-so. In other words, simply I created this model by adding parts to it. I never said that I created this model directly from scratch. That would be wrong and lying. I just say I made this model by using parts already available. It's basically like Minecraft. Let's say you build a castle, right? Does that basic castle mean that castle is now owned by Mojang? Owned by Notch because they made the parts for the castle? No. But either way, everyone knows who made what. And if they see their parts on a video, and they don't want their parts in the model anymore, then gladly I'll just simply remove them. That's it. And TDA? Alright, yes, I know there's a lot of comment search for around him, quite frankly, right now. Or her. But either way, quite frankly, that's surprisingly none of my business. I still respect the person as an individual for a model maker. And quite frankly, I'd always basically point people direction to look at their stuff, because the stuff they do is extremely superb, top-notch, 5-star quality. And I must admit, there is no other base that I preferred using than TDA. Literally, I use TDA for everything. And I must admit, TDA, if you're watching this video right now, keep up the good work, my friend. Please keep it up. You literally give the MMD community proud. And I'm very sorry for people who do your stuff. Anyway, back to you.
Not trying to bash anyone. I'm just getting tired of people stating that basically they make the model and basically don't actually make the model. They basically assemble the parts and that's it. I know what a TDA is. I worked on TDA models before. You know, and they're all just assembling parts. This right here is homemade. This is Vroid. Yes, I know that basically you start off with a base and all that other stuff, but you basically personalize it.
Again, I must admit, assembling models is basically the reason why I say I assembled the model. That's basically what I always take credit for. I assembled the model. And a lot of MMD creators do that too. However, when it comes down to parts, anyone who says, like, I made this part, or I made this model totally from scratch, and clearly you can see it's been made by other parts, been made by someone else, then of course they're lying, and those people usually get called out for their bullshit. A lot of MMD creators never say they made the parts. They made the model. They always say either they assembled it or edited it. Of course, they have to have permission to edit it, or quite frankly create it, and to believe it or not, I always leave a description down below in the actual model thing as well, showing exactly where all the parts come from and everything else like included. And again as well, if every MMD creator basically put down every single name of every single part, and imagine this, right? Imagine a highly detailed, highly assembled model that has dozens of parts from dozens of different names. Literally the entire comment section will run out of space really quickly of just names of each individual part, and probably a link to that part as well if you want to be extremely generous. So in other words, if you want to know the model parts of people, just ask us. We'll point you to the direction of the person the part came from who actually made the bloody thing. For example, someone asked me recently whose base I was using. TDA. I gave them the link to TDA's DeviantArt. There you go. Someone asked basically what armor I get from. I sent a link to the individual got the armor from, and so on and so forth. The weapons, so on and so forth. That way. All that is basically what we do. We simply, if someone asks for basically where did I get this or where did I get that, we show them exactly who gave it to us. We don't go, I made this, so all this owned by me. No, that's just lying. And quite frankly, we all know that quite frankly, taking credit for something that you haven't made is quite frankly the most dickish move you can do in the MMD community. That's why we said we never made the model, we just assembled it. But we always say by, quite frankly, so and so you know who to ask about the model if you want more information. Again, MMD creators, we always quite frankly point the direction of who made the parts. We never claim it to for ourselves. And quite frankly, we only claim things that we actually make ourselves. And if it's based off a series like Star Wars or Halo, for example, or Star Trek, they'll always be classed as basically, you know, the rights to those things we always basically to the creators who actually first envisioned them, actually brought them into the actual industry itself. Anyway, and yes, you said use Vroid. Use a base, you customize it yourself. That's almost similar to basically what MMD people do. They use a base, they grab some stuff, and they customize it to their own liking. Now, doesn't that sound ironic, doesn't it?
You personalize it to make your own style. You basically even get to adjust the face, the modeling, physiques and all that. If you might notice, I got a chiseled chin on this model. Look at that chiseled chin. Yeah.
You can do the exact same thing in MMD and Mix Editor, and even Blender as well. And believe it or not as well, mate, MMD people do this exactly the same thing. We always seem to chisel away at, quite frankly, how we want our models to look like, and quite frankly personalize them. That's what makes the models for MMD unique. Because there is so much to choose from, so much to use, and quite frankly, so many colors, textures, clothes, outfits, accessories to add, from different genres, from military to, I don't know, K-pop, cotton candy, and basically, Halloween, scary, extremely fluffy, and all that stuff. There's so much to choose from. However, it's the exact same thing as Vroid as well. Even though Vroid you can customize it using sliders to make things a lot easier. Yeah. So what? You can do sliders to customize it. In MMD, you need to basically go in and quite frankly actually move the vertices bit by bit to basically shape the body how you like it. Or go into Blender and craft it yourself and make it a base that people can download. It's almost the exact same thing. So I don't know why you're saying, oh, I use Vroid. I use PMX Editor. So what? And Blender. And Unity. So what? I use Vroid. Use a pre-made fucking base.
And I hate to say it, you can even do a lot of weird things with the hair. Come on. Do you not see? Yeah. You can do a lot of weird things with the hair these days.
You can do a lot of weird things with MMD hair as well, included. And surprise, surprise, we can't really see your hair thanks to the boom mic in front of it. So you might want to reposition that microphone. I don't know, move it to the side of screen or something to fill in the blank space next to your body. There's probably a better location and probably put it above your head.
But, come on. Stop fucking, being lazy, people. Stop being lazy. Like I said, you can do a lot of things with his head.
Most likely. It's not basically laziness. Sometimes it's basically down to what people can understand or do. I know quite frankly several people that basically want to learn how to use Blender, but they just don't understand how it works, and the tools that are out there just don't help at all. That's it. Sometimes people are better at other things than others. Some people are better at assembling models than actually creating them purely from scratch. Yes, that sometimes can be a bummer, but at least there's people out there in the MMD community that give them these tools, these things they can use to create something of their own to a degree. But here's the thing, I also know that there's some people out there who simply just go, I want to build something. They build it from parts that already existed and go, I made this, I created this purely from scratch. And then that pisses off the MD community a lot. The thing is though, a lot of times usually it's like kids that basically just start out MMD sort of thing, and they want to say, I made this and I made everything here. And sometimes I do admit there's one kid that I do know of that was simply saying that I created this sort of thing because he made all the stages. He made basically the stage how he wanted to make the stage by retexturing it and recoloring it to fit a video. However, how he worded it made it look like he recreated the stage purely from scratch. And I know this got into a lot of shit. Even though this kid was 9 years old. This poor kid is no longer on YouTube, by the way, because he was chased away by the MMD community. Sad to say, but there are people out there who are just basically just assholes that simply just claim they've made everything, even though they clearly have not. there are people out there who simply don't know how to basically make sure they word it properly, like, the ones who are just starting up. And quite frankly, there are people who simply just assholes who just take everything and just go, I did everything because, I was, the one who created everything, blah, blah, blah. Not everyone is out there who can actually create a model purely from scratch. So quite frankly, thank you to MMD creators that actually, create parts for people to use. So I thank you for letting MMD creators like me and several others to actually allow us to create our models that we want to have to actually represent our YouTube channels. And of course, we don't claim these are our models made from scratch. We just claim that we basically make them as they look like now. That's it. Anyway, back to you.
But I'm just tired of it. I am tired of basically the MMD community complaining and crying about how they actually make the models and yet they don't. And then also them abusing TDA, which shout out to TDA, for making those models. I appreciate them. But give yourself a shot and actually make your models.
Yes, the MMD community does have problems with basically people stealing stuff and quite frankly not giving any credit to that. But that happens with everything. There are people out there who steal artwork and claim that they made it, even though clearly there's a fucking watermark in the corner of the screen saying, hey, made by so-and-so. People steal videos off of YouTube and claim it as their own, and so on and so forth. Anyway, and yes, TDA has been put through a lot of shit because of people claiming they made everything even though they're using a TDA bloody fucking base. And it's clear to bloody see. But here's the thing. Still, TDA is still basically is one of the stable heads of the MMD community, I would believe. And thanks to that TDA, we actually have many models that quite frankly are not only been used quite well, and basically drawing thousands upon thousands of fans that bring people towards MMD and quite frankly enjoy MMD by watching it, creating their own things, bringing new life into this community as a whole. But yes, we always will have bad apples. We always have these individuals that basically mess up our community and make it either toxic or quite frankly steal shit they should be stealing and taking credit for things they haven't done.
Either download or pay for Mesquite, or also download Vroid. Vroid is not that hard to download, people. It's free to download and it's easy to use. Even Saul got into it. But shouts to her. You guys gotta start realizing that, you guys should make your own models these days. Come on.
And again, some people aren't able to basically create their own model purely from scratch because maybe they don't understand the systems, like, Blender. Even I know for a fact, I've been using it for a while, it's still quite chaotic even for me who's used Blender quite a bit. And I still am learning stuff today about Blender and Unity. And the updates don't really help either because, oh no, a new version of update has come out and completely changed the visuals. Oh dear. But either way, it doesn't really matter to a degree. As long as they give credit when they're asked of where they got the parts from and who made them, then I don't really see a problem. To a degree. But if they're being a dick and going like, I made this whole thing myself, including the stage and the motion, then clearly, that individual should be called out for their bullshit. quite literally called out for their bullshit. I know the MMD community itself is going through, quite frankly, a roughly patch right now, due to basically a lot of controversies, dramas, and quite frankly, a lot of shit's going down. But quite frankly, right now, we don't really need more fuel to add to the fire right now. I'll just say that. The MMD community is a wonderful place that is quite frankly vibrant, creative, and quite frankly full of great people. And yet, we still have a few bad apples that basically bring the worst of the MMD community out as well. Just like any community or any fandom, we have our problems, we're not perfect. But yet, I'm still proud to be part of the MMD community, and I'm still proud to be here in the MMD as well. Back to you again. Again, some people can't actually, use.
Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe.
Okay, well, now his video's been finished. Right then, my final thoughts on this whole thing. Right, let's begin with the starting one. One, the reason that Queen doesn't want to speak to you and doesn't want to be friends with you because you kept betraying her trust by doing things she's asked you not to do 1,000 bloody times. So she's just become annoyed and gone, fuck it, I can't be dealing with you anymore, and just cut you out of her life. And she wants to keep you out of her life for good. Alright, next thing, about Miraculous Red Ladybug. A lot of the videos right now are quite frankly not overly sexualized to a degree. She's basically wearing her hero costume, which is literally a tight spandex costume that literally compresses everything. Anyway, back on to something else included as well. A lot of the MMD motions that she uses in these videos are just simply memes. They are literally meant for comedy. Comedy. You know the word. Comedy. It's meant for a ha-ha moment. Not for a, how to describe it? Not getting played, fucking YouTube after me. Touchy down south, basically. It's not meant to be like that. It's just meant to be funny. Because literally, every video I've seen so far either put a smile on my face, or in other words, make me less stressed and actually have a good day. They're not meant for basically R18 stuff. If you want that stuff, go to a different website. There are literally plenty of websites out there that use MMD for that kind of stuff. I won't name any of them, but I'm pretty sure if you looked anywhere online for this stuff like this, you can probably find more than enough. Right. And quite frankly, if you forget, she's not real. She is literally a 3D animated character from a show. And believe it or not, it's a 3D animated character in MMD. It's not a real life person having a gun pointed to their head and forced to literally do these motions. It's not. It's just literally doing a bunch of motions. And as well, she's fully clothed. Literally fully clothed. From head to bloody neck, to face mask included. There are no bikini models doing this. There's none of that doing this. It's just simply just having fun with MMD. That's the idea of MMD, to have fun and relax and experiment. Anyway, also back onto your probably a third point of literally model making. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone has the time and patience to learn how to model make. That's it. And some people just don't understand it at all. or basically don't have a powerful PC enough to basically, I don't know, run Blender at, I don't know, a pure 60 frames a second or 30 frames a second to, you know, work properly or function properly. Or use Unity or basically everything else included. And sometimes just a simple recoloring or retexturing is the best thing they can do. Sad to say. Look, and quite frankly, the over-sexualization of Coolmix's character being shipped with male characters, again, the Coolmix character is literally a mirror of her RIL self as well, to a degree. So she wants to basically have herself basically imprinted in this as well. So she cares about this model a lot because this model means a lot to her, to COPPA self. So in other words, her being shipped with a male character, even though she's full-blown lesbian, is quite frankly a big no-no. Which is quite frankly the reason why that she's stopped giving out the main model to only those who have known her a while and trust her. And also our friends. Us as her friends. And here's a list of her friends as well included in this list. We don't just hang around with her on MMD. We don't just simply describe her channel for clout and that's that. And if you haven't noticed recently, we haven't been mentioned in many videos. So recently she's been more or less using Miraculous as a way to simply play the YouTube system for views. AKA, COPPA is a smart businesswoman right now. She's literally using YouTube system against itself for more views and get more subscribers. And I'm pretty sure at some point when Miraculous dies out again in popularity, switch back to our normal videos again. It's just how it works. It just switches back and forth between what is popular and what is not popular. That simple. Anyway, now that everything's been taken care of, it's time for me to probably sign off now and quite frankly start editing this bloody video. Anyway, take care everyone. It's nice to see you all again, and quite frankly, I'll see all of you on the battlefield.